When you start using unit tests a little more, you'll find that there's parts of the system that you do want to test, and parts that you don't. For example, your program may call out to a database, to a third-party API, or even to part of your code that you don't wish to include in that particular test. I'm going to assume a familiarity with C# syntax, an understanding of interfaces and classes. I'm going to assume a basic understanding of test frameworks. If you're not familiar with these, then see the comments for a link to a series of blog posts that explain this from the ground up. The idea behind mocking is that you can replace parts of your code with alternate code that will allow the test to run without calling the code that is replaced. Let's start by looking at a simple test. The test is very simple, it just instantiates our class and then calls the method on the class. Let's see what happens when we run this test. Here we have a simple method that accepts an interface. In order to test this, we may decide that we need to replace the class that's being passed in with a different version of that class. Let's see what that different version might look like. As you can see, all we're doing here is honouring the interface by either doing nothing at all or returning a set value. Technically, what we've just created was a stub, not a mock. So what's the difference? To start with, mocks are a type of test double, along with fakes and stubs. The common definition of a stub is a test double that honours the contract but performs no actual function and returns a predefined response. A mock is similar to a stub, except it allows for some form of verification as to how it's being used. Fakes are a replacement for functionality for the purpose of testing. You may, for example, use an in-memory database. Or, as in this example, you may return a series of canned responses to see that the system can cope with more than one call. As you can see from the code so far, there's a lot of boilerplate code involved in creating a manual mock. In addition, if you change an interface, then you're obliged to honour all of the new or changed methods. Mocking frameworks provide a shortcut for this and allow you to implement an entire interface in one line, accepting default stubs for every method, and then override the methods that you actually care about. In .NET, there's basically two choices for mocking frameworks: nsubstitute and mock. There are others, but these two are definitely the most commonly and widely used. nsubstitute offers a series of extension methods, making mocks easier to write and read. Mock offers an approach whereby you create a generic wrapper for your interface or class, and then work against that wrapper. We've talked about the concept of mocking, we've spoken about test doubles and discussed the terms mock, stub and fake. We've spoken about popular frameworks for .NET and seen how they're used. Thanks for watching.